Good morning. Welcome to the Man Cave. Moorland Bikers Man Cave, that is, of course. Bit of a rough morning, a bit cold and breezy, but at least it's dry. But anyway, I've got one or two jobs to do in the Man Cave, but before I do that, I want to introduce day 10 on my Spanish trip. Spanish, French, Andorran trip, if you like. This is day 10. This was where I sadly moved away from Mahaka. I say sadly because Mahaka, not my sort of place really, but it really got under my skin, and it was a good base. It really was a good base, and there's some fantastic roads around there, so most of the area I've got to go back for. So much unfinished business, but either way, that's for the future. Hopefully this coming year, to be honest, but we'll see. So yes, this was moving on. I moved on from, this is day 10, moved on from Mahaka across towards Granada. I did pass through Granada eventually, but I wanted to climb Pico Veleta. Now the road, I misread it really. The road up to the summit, almost to the summit of Pico Veleta, is down as being the highest road in Europe. It is. It's just that the last section of it is not available to motorised traffic. But it was worth doing. It was worth doing. Okay, I didn't get to the highest point on European roads, but not far off. Just over 2,500 meters, which is no mean height, to be honest. But I'll show you on the map where we went. I found a little short one, another one of my little white roads, but I'll show you on the map anyway. So bear with. We're across at Mahaka, there, on the coast, and I got quite a distance really, all the way across to Tabernas again. We ended up on motorway for a short, well, a reasonable distance, to be honest. But by the time I got to sort of around Guadix, I had a look at the map on occasions. So I got to Guadix and got to there, and I found one of my little white roads. You see, just over here is Granada. Didn't want to go into Granada on the way up, so I found this little white road and followed that. No idea what it's going to be like through La Peza, if that's indeed how you pronounce it. And Balstiquena, it's a reservoir, but that was fantastic. The view across that was fantastic. To Cuentar, and then onto the road that leads up to, it's signposted just Sierra Nevada. It's the Sierra Nevada ski development actually that's up there. So I came up here anyway, and up. I did catch sight of the ski development. It's a bit too much of an urbanisation, to be honest, and came up to here, which is where there's a barrier across the road just about there, and that's the highest point I could get to. I hadn't got my walking boots with me. My bike boots weren't really fit for walking, so I didn't walk up to the highest point. You can go up by foot or on push bike, but you can't go on with a motorised vehicle. So that was my route anyway, across to Pico Veleta in Sierra Nevada, in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Like I say, I'd misread it a little bit. I hadn't read it properly, but it was worth the trip anyway. It really was, and I'm sure when you watch it through, you'll agree with me. Hopefully, anyway. Yeah, and then up to Balen. Balen, like I say, the hotel was very basic, and it just served a purpose, and that was it. So that was day 10. Have a look through it, have a watch, see what you think, and yeah, let me know. Alright, hope you enjoy it. Cheers. Good morning. Bit of a sad morning really. because although Mojaca isn't my sort of place really, it's a beautiful neck of the woods, the surroundings, but it's time to move on. And today I'm just going to record us leaving Mojaca, because once we leave Mojaca we're on motorways across to Granada, or just outside Granada, where I'll be taking a run up the as near I can get to the peak of the Pico Veleta. There is a reason for it, and I'll explain when we're there. So I'll see you in about 2 hours. Yeah, doesn't sound much if you say it quickly. Okay, see you later. Wasn't quite expecting this. Welcome back. It's just that we're just touching a little bit more of Tabernas Desert. These strange formations. It's yeah, it's just a quick couple of minutes just to show you what it's like, because it surprised me, to be honest. Something we have missed out on, just back there a few kilometres, you could see across to Texas Hollywood. It's a theme park really, but it's one of the film sets allegedly that was used for the spaghetti western. Sergio Leone. It's another one of the villages down there on the right. That's the entrance. Oh well. See you later. Just another little shorty. We're getting towards Granada now, and it's this another set of weird rock formations. I really wish I knew more about this area. It's absolutely fascinating, if you can see what I'm talking about. They look almost as if those caves could actually be homes, or have been homes at some point, but it's really weird formations. It's actually part of the Sierra Nevada National Park here. I hope you can see what I'm babbling on about through the camera lens. It's really, really weird. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating to see these formations. I'll have to try and find out more about this. Let's get past this old Larder Neva. Don't see many of those on the road these days. Okay, see you in a little while. This is amazing. I've decided to come. I found one of those little roads of mine. I can only afford to show a couple of minutes of this. It's even more different rock formations. Just wasn't ready for this sort of variety of surroundings. It's just it is amazing. Spain is an amazing country. Little rock pinnacles on the skyline. These trees. Oh, I could spend a lot more time around here, I really could. Oh well, there we go. See you in a few minutes. And now look what we got. I'm sorry, I've got to keep switching the camera on because I can't keep missing these. Got the autumn colours coming through. It's... When I was coach driving, I used to say, particularly in Scotland, autumn is one of the most beautiful seasons of the year because of the autumn colours. And I've come down into this valley and we're coming to deciduous trees and autumn colours. It's I just wasn't ready for this at all. The reason I've come along this road to get to where I'm going is because I didn't want to get involved in the traffic in Granada until I had to. I had no idea this looked like this. It just beggars belief. It just really beggars belief. I just can't. I can't get over the variety that I'm coming across in one journey. Oh, this country. I love the place. That's enough of that. Me again. I just oh, it's just I'm speechless, virtually speechless. Just taking a little detour. You'll see why. Hopefully. Take a run across the reservoir. This is just, oh my God. Can you see down there? This whole situation, whole place is ludicrously beautiful in so many ways. Even though it's an artificial dam, I know that, but how green the water is. It's rather low level, I know, but even so, it's just... Okay, let's go. Go a bit further. Well, hopefully you'll join me for the object of this little diversion. Because this road we're on, right up at the top, it doesn't go quite to the summit of the mountain we're riding up the side of, effectively, the Pico Veleta. But the road itself, it's a dead-end road, and it is the highest road in Europe, up to around about 3,000 meters, higher than any of the Alpine passes, higher than any of the Pyrenean passes. It is the highest road in Europe. It's something I have to do because I've ridden the highest road, or it was at the time the highest motorable road in the world, which was the Cardon Glas in Ladakh 5 years ago. That has since been superseded. A military road, a former military road, has been opened up to the public. So we're at 1,000 meters now. Oh yes, at the time it was just short of 18,000 feet was the Cardon Glas, but that was 5 years ago. This is now. Yeah, the Pico Veleta. It's another one of those sublime roads in itself, to be honest, but the fact that it goes up to the highest point on a public road in Europe, that means a lot. I mean, it stands for something, doesn't it, really? It just says Sierra Nevada. It's not actually telling us it's going to the Pico Veleta, but it must be. It's the only road that can take us up there. The last few hundred meters is actually for walkers and cyclists, so we can't ride to the very summit of the mountain, admittedly, but I'm not walking to the summit either. I'm not in these clothes. These bike boots are just not good for walking in anyway. There's some wild views from up here. But we've not reached the 2,000 meter stage yet. Only about 7 miles from the top. I think some of the best views might be on the way down, in actual fact, from the other side of the road, closer to the edge, so to speak. Must be an absolute breeze cycling down. Now we're on the right side of the road, still going up. The views, wide open views. Well, we're not far off the top now. I've not seen a 2,000 meter marker yet, but we must be over that now. It's a tremendous ride up here, without the fact that it's the highest road in Europe. So that must be the Pico Veleta right in front of us. I didn't expect to be this much development here, I have to say. Oh, parking's free. Well, we're certainly up on the top of the mountains now. It's nice to have got above all that ski development area. It was all getting a bit complex down there, little junctions, little lanes going to different hotel setups. But yeah, I'm fairly happy that we're on the highest bit of the road now. Bit cooler, I'll say that much. Showing 18 degrees on the dashboard, so 18 degrees Himalayan wise, it's got to be about 15, I should think, which is pretty cool for where we've been this week, this fortnight. Altitude 2,500 meters. I knew it would get higher. And that's it. That's the highest point. Just over 2,500 meters, so we've done okay. Wonder if we can get a sticker from somewhere. Now that's a view. It's a view and a half, that is. Looking out over Granada. Marvellous. So that was it. Just over 2,500 meters. And as I thought, the views are going to be probably better coming down than they were going up, so hopefully I've saved enough memory card to cover at least some of it. If the memory card runs out before we get all the way down, I will say thank you so much for watching this one, because I know I get a little bit overexcited over some things, but I wasn't expecting a lot of the views that we had today, a lot of the variety, a lot of the contrast of surroundings. It's just, it's been hundreds of % better than I expected it. I was going to film this purely because it was the highest point on my public road, but I suppose the ski development is a bit of a blot on the horizon in a way, but it is what it is. What a panorama. What a beautiful panorama. Wow, look at that. Watch the road. That's looking out over Granada in the distance. You probably can't pick the city out through the camera lens, but over there is Granada, the city of Granada. I'm going to avoid, I know there is the Alhambra is worth a visit, Granada itself is worth a visit as cities go, but I just don't have the time. I've got to be up at the next hotel is at Belen, which is north of Jaén, or Jaén, however you pronounce it. Hoping to be there by 5 o'clock, or between 5 and 6 at least. Oh, it is even more impressive coming down. I was proud of Blizzard for getting me up there and creating interest with the people that were on the car park, particularly Per. Per is a guy from Sweden who has a T7 Tenere and had a Bullet 500 that he found to be less than reliable, but I assured him that Blizzard is good as gold. That's the safest way to take in the panorama, is by stopping for a few seconds. And it is a fine panorama, it really is. Thankfully we're still recording. Down to 2,000 meters. I'll switch off for a few minutes. Well, we're down to the tree line now. Aren't we below the tree line? So I'll call it a day for this one, as I'm going to stop to put some petrol in. And I'll see you at the hotel. So that was it. Like I say, it wasn't quite what I planned it to be, but it was worth it. The views are fantastic, the roads were fantastic, the weather was fantastic. It was just a really nice trip. And after this, at the end of this day 10 as it was, I headed north. I was heading north back up. It was going to be a 3-day trip back up to the north, and to meet up with my mate Dan on the edge of the Pico Veleta. So I hope you enjoyed it, but that's it. I mean, the next day is, well, the editing is going to be interesting because I had problems with the camera, but I'm still going to put it out anyway, but that's for next week. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you give us a thumbs up, it'd be great. It does help with the channel, and if you've not subscribed, then you know, it'd be nice if you would. And make a comment. I always answer comments. I always answer comments, unless for some reason they've come through and I've not seen them, but I usually pick them up anyway. So yeah, let me know. All right.